Okay, so today's lesson we are going to be adding and subtracting positive and negative fractions. So you already know how to add and subtract fractions. We've been working on that for a little while. And now we're going to combine that with the rules for positive and negative integers, just like we did with decimals, so that we can add and subtract positive and negative fractions. So there's no new material. We're just combining stuff that we've already done. So it's kind of new, but not all the way. Okay. When we are working with positive and negative fractions, there are a lot of steps that we have to go through. Not only do we have to go through all of the steps that we have to go through when we do normal fractions, but we also have to think about the signs. So the first thing is you need to find a common denominator, if necessary. And it's useful for that to be your first step because sometimes it's hard to tell which fraction is bigger if they don't have a common denominator. So that helps us see that. Okay, then once you have the common denominator, you're going to compare your fraction and you're going to use your rules to decide whether you add or subtract. So remember our little song, our same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number, and then you'll be exact. So up on the little example that I have up here, we have a negative fraction and a positive fraction. We have different signs, so we're going to be subtracting. Okay, then we're going to actually perform our addition or subtraction, so we'll actually do it. Our next step is to simplify, if necessary. So you may need to change an improper fraction to a mixed number. You may need to reduce the fraction. And then your last step is making sure that the sign of the answer is correct based on the rules. So let's go through these steps with the example that I have up there. So we have negative 2/3 plus 5/8. First step is find a common denominator. Kaylin, what would the common denominator be?
24.
24 would work. Good. So let's change this to negative something over 24 plus something over 24. Okay, Kaylin, if the bottom is 24, what's the top going to be?
You're gonna times the 2 by and you get 16.
Good.
Then you times the 3 with 5.
Okay. 15. So we have negative 16/4 or 16/24 plus 15/24. We already talked about the rule. The signs are different, so we're going to subtract. So now let's perform our addition or subtraction. I'm going to do this with my larger fraction first. So I'm going to do 16/24 minus 15/24. And you can write it vertically or horizontally. 16 minus 15 is 1. So I have 1/24. Next step would be to simplify if necessary. I can't reduce 1/24 any further. It's not improper, so I don't need to simplify. Then I need to make sure the sign of the answer is correct based on the rules. So remember, when different signs subtract, keep the sign of the larger number and then you'll be exact. Hillary, would that be positive or negative? Our answer. Positive why?
Because the positive number is better than the negative.
So, well, look up here though. Look at these. Look at our original numbers.
Negative.
Negative, yeah. Don't look at what we did here, because this is just how we rewrote it to make subtraction easier. But the original problem, then 16/24 was negative, so our answer is going to be negative.
I have a question. Why is the
1/24.
calculator so good?
In case I need it for anything.
Ow.
Okay, any questions about this before we go on? Okay, let's look at some more examples of this. So we have 5/6 minus a negative 1/4. We're going to refer to the rules. We're going to find a common denominator if necessary. This is necessary to find a common denominator. Sammy?
After notes for negative, bathroom.
Yes. Okay. Sammy, what would a common denominator be for 6 and 4? Have the fraction bars in there.
If there's 6.
We're not looking for common factors. We want multiples. Common multiples. Spencer?
Well,
12, we could use 12. So we have something over 12 minus a negative something over 12. Okay, Spencer, what would my top be here? 10, good. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. So we have 10 12s. Okay, and the next one, Ben, what would the top be? 3. 4 times 3 is 12, so 1 times 3 is 3, so we have minus 3 12ths. Okay, our next step says use rules to decide whether to add or subtract. What do I need to do even before I use the rules on this problem? Hillary?
You need to take the division sign and add it to the subtraction sign, like add them together and make an addition sign.
Okay, we need to take our two negatives, minus a negative always means plus. So 10 12ths plus 3 12ths. Okay, now we need to use our rules, and we're looking at this example. Let's see, Jonathan, are the signs the same or are they different?
They are the same.
They're the same. So we're just going to add. What do we get when we add?
13 over 12.
Good.
13
Good, 13 over 12, and that simplifies to 1 and 1/12. Now we make sure the sign of the answer is correct based on the rules. We just added two positive numbers because this minus negative means positive. So we don't look at this and say, oh, but that was negative. No, they're both really positive. So our answer we would expect would be positive. Okay, let's look at the next example. So first step is find a common denominator if necessary. Sammy?
it would just be 9 for the denominator.
Good. It would just be 9. So we're going to have 1 and 4/9 minus 6 and how many ninths, Sammy?
3 of 9.
Good. 3/9 because 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. Whatever we do to the bottom of the fraction, we also have to do to the top of the fraction. Okay, our next step says use rules to decide whether to add or subtract. Kaylin, are the signs of those numbers the same or are they different? Different, good. We have nothing in front of this, so it's positive. We have minus in front of this, and having a minus sign in front is the same as having a negative sign in front. So they do have different signs. So we're going to subtract. I'm going to write this out with the 6 and 3/9 on top because 6 of something is bigger than 1 of something. Okay, now I run into this problem where I can't do 3 minus 4. Volunteer to tell me what I need to do. Let's see, Brian.
You need to borrow from the 6.
Good, borrow from the 6. So the 6, I'm going to borrow 1 whole, and what am I going to have as my new numerator?
13.
Not quite 13. I'm adding the 9 and the
Oh,
4.
okay.
12, yeah. So now I have 12 ninths. So I have 12 ninths minus 4 ninths is 8 ninths. 5 minus 1 is 4. So I have 4 and 8 ninths. My last step is to check the sign, make sure it fits my original problem. Caleb, should my answer be positive or negative based on this original problem?
Positive.
Why? I need to take the sign of the larger number. So which number is bigger, the 1 and 4/9?
Negative.
Yeah, it should be negative because I have a negative sign in front of my larger number. So my answer is negative 4 and 8/9. Okay, the next two examples are for you to try. So if you're watching the video, you should pause the video at this point, try these examples, and then come back to check.
Positive.
Okay, so the first one, let's see. Hannah, what's my first step? Good, and what is my common denominator? 28, good. Okay, Hannah, what will go on the top?
The first one will be 16.
Good. And the second one?
7.
7, good. Okay, what is my next step? Addison? Good. good. We have to subtract because we have different signs. So which number should I write on top when I'm subtracting? Good, the 16/28 because it's bigger and we always put the bigger one on top. I'm gonna just write this one out horizontally because there's no borrowing or anything to be done. Okay, and what do you end up with as an answer there, Allison? Good, 9/28. Okay, what is my last step, Lydia?
See if it's negative or positive.
Okay, what's that?
Negative.
It should be negative, so we have to check the sign. Our larger number was negative. We keep the sign of the larger number, so we have negative 9/28. Okay, next one, Mackenzie.
I used 15 as common denominator.
Okay, so you got a common denominator first. So you had 6 and how many 15ths?
6 15.
Good, 6 and 6/15 minus -3 and 11/15. Okay, good. What do I do next, Sammy?
You subtract 3 6 and 6 11s, and you should get 3
Wait,
and...
wait, not quite. I'm not going to subtract. Keelan? Mhm. Good. This negative is going to go over and connect with this negative. Minus and negative always means positive. So 6 and 6/15 plus 3 and 11/15. Okay, what does that equal? Let's see, Jace.
I got 2 10. I got 2 10 15, and I reduced that to 2 over 2.
Well, let's look at what we get as our intermediate step. 6 plus 3 is,
Let's do
yeah, I want to get that answer first, then we'll simplify it.
That's 9.
9, and 6 plus 11 is
17.
17. So we have 9 and 17 over 15. 17 over 15 is improper, so we need to reduce that. Kaylin, what does that reduce to?
You get 1 and 2 15ths.
1 and 2/15, so if we add the 1 back onto our 9, we have 10 and 2/15. What is my last step? Ben?
Sign.
Check the sign. Should it be positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, yes. Both of our signs were positive in this problem because minus and negative means positive. So our answer should be positive. Our answer is 10 and 2/15. Question? Not right now. Let's keep going with this. I'll look at it later. Okay, there's one more slide. This does not appear on your notes, so just give me your attention for this one. Actually, there's not another slide. There's supposed to be a word problem slide, and it didn't. Must not have sent. So I will check on that. All right. So this is your exit ticket. I want you to do these 2 problems, and then you have a CUDA worksheet. You are going to be doing probably not all. Let's say just the odd numbered problems on that worksheet. Okay. So check the exit ticket with me, and then I will give you the worksheet. So it's kind of like the ticket to get the worksheet.
Oh.